everyone, my name's Amelia from the YouTube channel XAmeliaX, and I'm here today with Ali Gunn, who's going to show us how to do this smoky eye look.
I love the smoky eye, one of my absolute statement favourite looks. Hopefully this is an easy way to do the smoky eye that gives enough drama but makes the eyes really pop.
So keep watching if you want to find out how to get this look.
Already have our base done, which is lovely, which I think we're probably going to pump up a little bit, but beginning with the smoky eye, essential to start, I always think, with a kohl pencil, or like one of those fat kohls, like a smudgy crayon liner. So black liner, we're doing quite an intense smoky.
Okay.
So close eyes for me. Doesn't need to be too neat because we're going to buff it in, smudge out the edges. And I always take it up a little bit again to give that kind of cat eye, both sides.
So you start closest to the eye and then work out.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter too much. I'd probably start, a little bit away across and then work all the way in and just making sure it's really into the base of the lashes.
So you want the darkest colour closest to your eyes and then fade out a little bit.
Absolutely. So using QVS smudger, which is gorgeous because it's really tapered, bristles rather than a sponge, which are quite difficult to blend with, so much easier with the smudger brush. Open eye, and right up onto the bone and into that corner, because we're going to fill that with shadow anyway.
Okay.
Little movements. So not brushing in one line, but just tiny little. Does it feel okay?
Yeah, no, it feels fine. I've got one of those smudging brushes with the sponge on the end, and I find them really hard on my eye, and that's actually quite soft considering it's moving quite a lot of product around.
They're brilliant. They're the key to a soft smoky eye or an intense smoky eye, or even just applying. Quite like to go in and apply bits of colour with it, because you can really place it because it's so, it's so petite, it's so tapered. Next, going up for eyeshadow brush. Again, beautifully tapered, a bit wider but not too fat, not the blender, but somewhere in between, and also it's got a bit of fluff to it so you can still blend. So I'm going to stick with a brown for you, but quite a dark smoky brown, and just starting to build up at the edge with this. So we've got our base underneath, which is giving it the intensity. I think dark browns can make a great smoky, so although we're using the black as the line and the base, the overtone is a brown. Blender brush, so perfectly shaped for the socket. The QVS blender brush is just the perfect shape for eyeshadow blending. Going back in with a third shadow to tie everything together and to really just blend it into the socket, tie the dark colour into the kind of the lid, into the light colour, and all the way out onto the brow bone past the slightly darker colour. So it looks, I like to really buff it out and have it quite soft. So I'm going to go back in with another shading. This time the shading brush actually is slightly more angled, just to put a little bit more light into the inner. This is nice because it's a similar width to the eyeshadow brush, but slightly finer, slightly more tapered. So literally when the eyes are open, that bit just next to that, like the iris, that's the kind of where you see the colour just above and just around the lash line. So again, lightening it so it opens up the inner eye. Open eye for me, and close again. You could use a lip brush for the eyeliner.
That's really handy.
Yeah. So just a bit of gel liner. And quite easy to put the eyeliner on with, these are. Just to intensify it a little bit further. And again, just dragging it out. How do you feel about eyeliner in the waterline? Would you ever do it?
I probably wouldn't, but only because I think it would close my eyes up, so if you can show me how I can do it so it doesn't,
okay,
that would be great.
We'll give it a go. So just look up a little bit for me. So I find it doesn't, I mean, there are liners now that do stay forever in the waterline, some real water resistant ones. but we're using a kohl pencil here, and what I find is it doesn't stay forever, but when you kind of push it into, it kind of smudges into the lash line, so you get the intensity, but it's not so much in the waterline like in an hour's time, so you probably feel a bit more open with it.
Yeah.
So taking the kohl under again, not too wide, but again a little bit more towards the outer edge. Essential smudger. And I always think this creates such a lovely, soft, smoky look.
That brush is so soft.
So it's lovely, isn't it? Love the sharp, angled, really fine, really easy for defining. So I'm going to put some light in the inner bits to open.
Okay.
And that will knock out any dark there, so it's not too dusky. So this is hopefully going to last you all night, so really packing it on there. And we have got a bit of base on already, so hopefully making it last and look better in the pictures later. And I'm also going to nude out the lips with it. So I think a really natural lip for this eye, because the eyes are so dramatic. I think if we have a really soft, natural lip. So I'm going to use the double-ended QVS brow brush, which I love. Makes it easier rather than having to apply too many layers, or it's not too defined. So just with a medium kind of khaki brown shade.
So why do you think khaki green works better than kind of orange tone browns in brows?
I feel like it looks a little bit more natural. And if you look at people's brows, they're usually a bit more ashen. They're not too warm generally. I mean, unless somebody is more of a redhead, I'd usually go for a slightly, kind of khakier as opposed to a warmer brown. And give it a little brush up with the spoolie.
It's the best word in makeup.
It's a good word. I'm going to take a loose bronzer and apply it with a little kabuki brush, which is so easy for, you're a little bit closer, there's less of a handle, so you can really kind of work around the face. The large kabuki, I'm going to call it, so lift your chin up a little. And I find there's always a bit of a space there. I always feel like you want to be the kind of colour of your chest area, but the neck area needs a little bit of help there. Sunlight never hits the neck like the rest of the face. And we can just maybe dust a bit more into the cheekbones. So I'm going to apply a little bit of a loose highlighter on your cheekbones, just with the natural blusher brush again, because it's quite small, quite tapered. Just for a little extra sparkle. Maybe a tiny bit more mascara, looking up again on the bottom lashes. And obviously we've taken the colour out with our concealer. And hopefully the lip liner will blend the two together just with this lip brush. Lip brushes are great if you haven't got a lip liner. You can just use the brush directly on the lipstick to really kind of draw the shape of the lip in and get that crisp edge. Ready for your close-up?
Let's see. Oh wow, that looks amazing. It doesn't make my eyes look closed at all, does it? Is that because you brought it out a little bit? Yeah.
I think so, yeah. Just by placing it further out and really blending it out towards the bone, it gives you that illusion more of a cat eye.
That looks lovely, and I love the lip colour as well. Oh, that's amazing. Thank you so much.
Thanks, babe.